In the years since cops in Minnesota killed George Floyd, cops all across the country have killed 1,000 more people, which has actually been the average since data has been collected. 1,000 people a year killed by cops in the U.S. In Tacoma, Washington, Manuel Ellis, a 33-year-old black man, became one of those unlucky 1,000. Now, he was actually killed a couple weeks before George Floyd, but 2 cops involved were just charged with second-degree murder, and 1 was charged with manslaughter. And those 3 cops have been on paid leave since last June. Money well spent, Tacoma. I hear all of this hate towards people who have been laid off collecting unemployment checks. But cops fucking sit at home collecting paychecks for killing a guy. All the fucking time. After they killed him, the cops gave the old, "We feared for our lives" routine. The original report said that they saw Ellis walking down the street trying to break into cars, so they confronted him. He then punched their car window and attacked them as they got out of their car. A whole bunch of cops on the scene confirmed this story. Well, shit, this guy sounds crazy. He's out of control. He's an animal. Unfortunately for the cops, but fortunately for the truth, there were eyewitnesses and video. 3 eyewitnesses say that the cops attacked him, unprovoked. Ellis was walking home from the store when cops approached him. There was some casual interaction between him and the cops, and then one cop slammed his car door against him, knocking him down in the street. They got out, jumped him, beat the shit out of him, tasered him, handcuffed him, hogtied him, put a hood over his head. One cop put him in a chokehold, one cop put his knee on his fucking neck, and then one cop put all his weight on his back until he eventually died. The last words he said, "I can't breathe, sir." The last words he heard, "Shut the fuck up." Witnesses said that Ellis struggled against the restraints because he was literally fighting for his life, but he never tried to hit or attack the cops. While the cops said, "This was a fight for our lives," and they would have gotten away with it if not for those meddling witnesses and the video. And even with all of that, it was still almost not enough to overcome the cops' lies, because the initial investigation into Ellis's death was done by the Pierce County Sheriff's Department, and one of their deputies had restrained Ellis that night. They were involved in the killing. They were supposed to be independently investigating, and they just forgot to mention it. Honest mistake. Like so many other victims of the police, Ellis had a history of mental illness and drug addiction, which is already being used against him. But even if he was on drugs, even if he had been trying to break into cars, he didn't deserve to be attacked and murdered by cops who think they're soldiers in enemy territory. It's no coincidence that all 3 killer cops served in the Army, where they learned to be part of an aggressive, occupying force, unaccountable to anyone but themselves. So many cops are former military, and they come home and treat American citizens just like they treated Afghanis and Iraqis. They even get the same military gear and weapons. The cops are at war with the very people they're supposed to be protecting and serving. And we can either let this war continue on our streets, or we can defund, demilitarize, and de-escalate cop culture.